Hasidic nigun. It's one of my favorites. Ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai.
Shabbat Shalom. It is such a pleasure to be with you all here tonight. We have a lot to do tonight. We have not one but two Banot Mitzvah to celebrate, and one of those Banot Mitzvah is a Banot Mitzvah because we have two sisters becoming Bat Mitzvah tomorrow morning, and then also another friend becoming Bat Mitzvah just after them. So we have a lot of celebration tonight in honor of those two Banot Mitzvah. We also are acknowledging some of the important work that happens in our community and in our congregation. As you may know, this month, the month of February, is JDAIM. I got that right. Jewish Disabilities Awareness and Inclusion Month. So tonight our service is going to focus kind of on a theme, something we don't often do, but thinking together about how we as a community can be more inclusive of all kinds of people and one another. This is also Shabbat Mishpatim, which is our Torah portion this week, which is the inspiration behind the organization Jewish Free Loan. So we also have some friends from Jewish Free Loan who I hope that you met earlier, and you'll be hearing more about that in a little bit. So I would like to welcome our friends from Jewish Free Loan and our friends from Gesher Disability Resource, and we'll be hearing more about all of this as our service continues. But of course, the most important thing we're here to do tonight is to be in a space of Shabbat peace and wholeness and healing and celebration. So let's take that Shabbat breath and be ready to simply be present. Be present for Shabbat. Be present for rest. Be present for celebration. Go ahead and turn off your cell phones because you don't need them for the next hour or so at least. And let's welcome Shabbat with light for our Shabbat candles this evening. It's been a long day. To light our Shabbat candles this evening, I would like to invite family of our two Benot Mitzvah, Erica Boroff, Lynn Boroff, Adele Morales, Devona Boroff, Pamela Pasternak, Jennifer Pasternak, Kimberly Pasternak, Cyril Mandelbaum, and Arlene Levine.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner להדליק נר של שבת.
Amen. This time I would like to invite Rabbi Nicole Byrne, our Director of Youth Engagement, who in her rabbinical studies focused on Jewish disability awareness and inclusion, so she will be leading us through the first part of our service this evening.
Shabbat Shalom. Since 2009, February has been designated Jewish Disability Awareness and Inclusion Month. The aim was to bring increased attention to the needs of all individuals and encourage efforts towards creating communities that embrace individuals with disabilities and their families. Unlike many minority groups, this one can be joined at any point in a person's life. And it has been said that it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Joining can happen to anyone at any age. It may be visible, and it may be not. It may go unnoticed. When you find yourself operating differently than others expect, or differently than you used to, you may assume or be assigned the label of disabled, and it might feel strange or foreign. It might feel like someone finally sees who you are and what you are dealing with, and it might strike you as horribly offensive. And the reactions are as varied as the situation you might find yourself in, because the idea that there's a community that unites all disabilities is not entirely true, because it encompasses such a range of humans and such a range of experiences. But when that day comes, we want you to know that CBI is here for you. This month, Congregation Beth Israel will be joining the wider Jewish community in directing our attention towards a group we don't and can't always see, but which is undeniably part of our community. We won't really be hosting a series of special programs. Instead, this month, we're going to be highlighting the ongoing efforts, accommodations, and opportunities our community has in place already, and the ways in which we are continuing to build on the ways in which we strive to make this community accessible and inclusive. All our bodies, our minds, and our souls were created by God, and in God's image, we're told. Our community is more whole and more holy when the divinity in all of us is seen, honored, and when we make room for each of us. We now continue with Lechato D on page 138.
We're going to be doing verses 1, 5, and 9. Ya la 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 Lechato D. Ya la 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 Likrat Kala. Ya la 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 Panei Shabbat. Panei Shabbat Nekabela. Ya la 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 Lechato D. Ya la 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 Likrat Kala. Panei Shabbat, Panei Shabbat Nekabela. Shamot v'zachor, b'dibur echad, Yishmiyanu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, u'shmo echad, Leshem u'tiferet ve'lithilah. Yai lai lai, ya la 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 Lechato D. Ya la 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 Likrat Kala. Ya la 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 Panei Shabbat, Panei Shabbat Nekabela. Kevod Adonai, alaich nilah. Yai lai lai, ya la 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 Lechato D. Ya la 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 Likrat Kala. Ya la 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 Panei Shabbat, Panei Shabbat Nekabela. We rise and we face the back of the sanctuary. Bo'iveh shalom, ateret bala, gam besimcha u'bzola, toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, ya la la Lechato D. Ya la 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 Likrat Kala. Ya la 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 Panei Shabbat, Panei Shabbat Nekabela. Ya la 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 Lechato D. Ya la 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 Likrat Kala. Ya la 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 Panei Shabbat, Panei Shabbat Nekabela.
We continue on 140. You may be seated.
Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat, a joyous song we will sing on Shabbat. Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat, Tov lehodol Adonai, ulezamer leshimcha elyon, ulezamer leshimcha elyon. Let's try that together. Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat, Tov lehodol Adonai, ulezamer leshimcha elyon, ulezamer leshimcha elyon. Lehagid baboker chasdecha, ve'emunatcha baliלות, alei ason v'alei navel, alei egyon bechinot. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat, Tov lehodol Adonai, ulezamer leshimcha elyon, ulezamer leshimcha elyon.
We continue on 144.
Yitkatal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah,
Amen.
Ve'alma divrach chirutei ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon, u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, bagala, bagala, u'vizman kari ve'meru,
Amen.
Yehi Shmei Rabba mevorach, le'olam ulal me'almaya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach ve'yishtabach, v'yitbar v'tumam v'nasei, ve'yithadar, v'yithalev, v'yithalal, Shemei dekudesha, Brichu leila min kol birchata ve'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, zamiran ve'alma ve'imru. Amen.
We take a moment now to ask for God's blessing on those who are observing Shiva or Shloshim, the immediate 7 and 30-day mourning period. If you wish to, and if you are able to, please stand at this time so we may ask for God's blessings upon you. For those who may be standing at home on the live stream, we say, Hamakom yenachem etchem. And now we rise, if you are able, for Baruch Hu, which can be found on page 146.
Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
We continue on page 148 in the Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, bechochma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב ערבים.
I hear you, I hear you. How many times have someone said this to us when they're not really listening? And how many times have we been the ones who say it, not really listening ourselves? The Shema tells us to listen, to hear, really hear. This month is an opportunity to tune in, to listen for voices and people who maybe we haven't been paying attention to or can't see because they're at home. The Shema says, listen, Israel. And Israel is all of us, in the room and at home. And that means that we're not just listening to the thing we're about to say, but we're listening to each other as we all say together the words of the Shema, which can be found on 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'em.
You may be seated, and we invite up now two of our Benot Mitzvah tomorrow, Jenny and Kimmy Pasternak for Ve'ahavta, which can be found on 154.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levacha u'chol nafshecha u'bechol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anohim mitzadecha hayom levavecha ve'shivnatam levanecha v'dibartam bam Beshivtecha v'leitecha u'lektecha v'aderech u'shokbecha u'vchumecha u'shartam leot al yadecha v'hayu l'tutafot beinenecha u'vtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha Leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yetem kedoshim l'orechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim le'olahem l'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem
Adonai Elohechem emet.
We continue with Mi Chamocha, which can be found on 158.
Mi chamocha bailim Adonai. Mi chamocha ne'edzar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osefele. Nora tehilot osefele. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai lai lai. Malechutecha ra'u vanecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze'eli anu ve'yameru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Yai lai lai lai. Let's try it together. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai lai lai. We're gonna pick it up. V'ne'emar ki vada Adonai et Yaakov u'galo miyad chazak mimenu. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai lai lai.
Some of us spend all day fighting. We fight our bodies and our minds. We fight for our bodies and our minds. It is an exhausting fight. Some of us spend our day doing our thing, living our lives. We use our bodies and our minds, but we don't always think about them. Maybe we don't take care of them. A day is just a day. Some of us have bad days and good days. Things are tough and then they get better. Stuff is fine, and then we hit a rough spot. We get through as best we can. For all of us, when night falls, the day is over. Night promises nothing. There may be struggles yet. There may be rest. And when tomorrow comes, may we all be ready. Hashkivenu can be found on page 160.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom vehamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom לשלום והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. ושמור צאצאינו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם. Let me hear you all sing Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim. Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim.
As it is Shabbat, we're told, remember and guard. And so we turn to Vishamru, which reminds us of that task, that responsibility, that mitzvah, if you will. And Vishamru is on the top of 162.
Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם בברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Let's turn together to page 164 and stand for the Amidah as we ask God to open up our lips, allowing our deepest prayers to rise to the surface.
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Adonai Sefatai Tiftach Ufi Agid Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanoah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Bezocher Chasdei Avot ve'imahot, Umevi Geula livnei bneihem, Leman Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah Rav lehoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofech olim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar, Michamocha bal gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, Veneman atah lehachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol, Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kedoshim bechol yom yehalelucha selah, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Let's be seated and read together at the top of page 173. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 175. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. Let's read together. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Atah Adonai. We take a moment for our own individual reflection.
We join together in the middle of page 180. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable unto you, Adonai, my rock and my Redeemer. Yiyu leratzon imrefi v'hegyon libi lefanecha. Yiyu leratzon imrefi v'hegyon libi lefanecha. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri v'goali. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri v'goali.
We turn to page 371, sharing together this prayer for healing.
Mi sheberach avoteinu mekor habracha leimoteinu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
Often when we think about healing, we think about something that happens with doctors. We think about something that happens with medication or perhaps physical therapy. Often healing means a wish for things to return to the way that they were. But sometimes when we receive a diagnosis from a doctor or a therapist or a counselor, it is not the kind of diagnosis that leads us to becoming the people that we were before. Sometimes healing is not about returning to where we were, but finding a sense of wholeness and acceptance and difference with the people that we are going to become. Sometimes it's about accepting that our children aren't going to be the way we imagine them to be. Sometimes they're going to take us on an entirely different journey. Sometimes healing is something that comes from within us. It is about becoming whole in the bodies that we have, in the hearts that beat within us, with all of the fancy words and diagnosis and things that we feel that can't necessarily be changed. We pray for healing. We pray for wholeness. We pray for peace with the selves that we are given, not necessarily the ones we always expected we might become. If you're thinking about wholeness and healing for someone in your life tonight, I invite you to share their name with our community at this time. We wish a refuah shlema to Stacy Adler, Stephen Black, Zachary Bowman, Max Goldberg, Tina Gomberg, Alana Goldschmidt, Rachel Hernandez, Sharon Luber, Gail Lorsch, David Lorsch, Don Rosenblum, Rachel Leah, Bat-Leah Gittel Venachem, Ian Weisbluth, and Magda Willinger.
Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Page 376, we wish wholeness for our country. Let's read together at the bottom. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those we have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. Amen. Amen. At this time, I would like to invite a different person to come and give a drash, not me, not one of the rabbis, but when I first came to CBI and I met Stacy Rosenthal, oh, she's going to get really mad at me. I have never seen someone connect on an individual level with every single child the way that Stacy Rosenthal does. The way that she sees each one who comes into the religious school and she has a secret handshake or a special nickname or a special joke that they have together. Each and every person is an individual. We could see it as these are all of the students, but that's not Stacy. Each and every person truly is for her a unique experience, a unique idea to get to know, and this is something I so admire about her. And I think that this is part of what drives Stacy to the work that she does when we think about inclusivity. And she's going to tell you a little bit more about that, but I wanted to share that with you because each one of us also has within us the ability to do this and be inclusive in this way and seeing the unique honor of each individual. So, Stacy, I thank you for sharing these words with us tonight as we think about what inclusivity means for us in our lives.
Wow, thank you so much, Rabbi. So nice. Shabbat Shalom. So each week at Shabbat services, there are members who you don't notice. They are part of our community, but looking around, you won't see them. They won't greet you in the rotunda with a hearty Shabbat Shalom, or they won't give you a hug and ask about your grandchildren. They are members of our community, but in many ways, they are strangers. In this week's Torah portion, Mishpatim, the word ger is often interpreted to mean a stranger, or one who stands out from the crowd. There is an otherness implied as we see the word used in proximity to the poor or to widows and orphans. These are vulnerable groups who are often marginalized because of their perceived differentness. And yet, there are 36 places in the Torah which warn us against wronging the ger. A deeper dive into the text reveals that we are commanded not to feel superior to the stranger, but rather to be empathetic to their struggles. In Mishpatim, the first mention seems fairly clear-cut. Do not ill-treat a stranger or oppress him, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. Later, the text takes the command a step further by reminding us that because we know how it feels to be a stranger, we must embrace the ger with humility and empathy. Listen for the subtle difference in this verse. Do not oppress the stranger, for you yourselves know how it feels to be a stranger, because you were strangers in the land of Egypt. By remembering how it felt to be strangers, we are reminded of our connectedness to the ger and what it truly means to be a Jew. We cannot espouse the belief that we are all created in the image of God without treating the other with awareness, acceptance, and inclusiveness. We are all born with our own challenges, abilities, and talents. No two people are exactly alike, not even twins. It is our individuality that allows us to express our unique gifts. Rabbi Abraham Tversky, a noted rabbi and psychiatrist, explains in his book, Angels Don't Leave Footprints, that it is because of our challenges, faults, and our individuality that we are able to have an impact on the world. A few years ago, I got a call from a congregant who had a few questions for me. Her son with autism was getting older, and she asked if we had ever done a bar mitzvah for a student with significant special needs. Admittedly, we had not, but I set up a time to meet with Stephen and his mom. At our first meeting, Stephen wouldn't enter the building. You see, Stephen has some visual challenges as well, and the staircase in the religious school was immediately disconcerting. I made a pinky promise, like pinky promise with Stephen, that I would never, ever ask him to go upstairs. And as Stephen's confidence grew, so did our handshake. Stephen was also overwhelmed by going into the chapel, as it was a new place for him. Some weeks, our meetings were a short 10 to 15 minutes as we walked from the religious school building to the entrance of the chapel. The next week, a bit further, and a bit further, and a bit further, until finally, one glorious day, we made it to the front row of the chapel, and we sat in the first row in the pew. Neither of us saying much at first. And then Stephen said, as he noted the sun hitting the stained glass just right, that it was like God was making a rainbow in the chapel. Abraham Joshua Heschel taught us that even more important than God's perfection is God's care for the world and each other. It is our responsibility to partner with God to ensure that all are included, to create a world where collective brokenness becomes a beautiful mosaic. So not knowing what Stephen could do, his mom worked with us on an elaborate set of picture cues that Stephen would read for his Torah portion. But a funny thing happened. We actually discovered that Stephen was able to memorize the prayers, and that once nonverbal, Stephen sang and he chanted his Torah portion without the need for pictures at all. On a beautiful spring day, surrounded by his family and friends and rabbis and doctors and therapists, Stephen became a bar mitzvah on our bima. Stephen's journey culminated with the sunlight beaming through that stained glass, casting rainbows as if on cue. His mom, Shar, shared with a reporter who covered Stephen's story that kids with autism make you wonder if they'll ever make that connection. And when they do, that gift, that's a gift. It's just amazing. When asked what compelled him to take on such a monumental task, Stephen, who, remember, had been afraid to enter the chapel, confidently shared a few words of his own. I don't just think it, I just feel it. There's a happy feeling inside of me. It's inside of all of us. Since 2009, February has officially been known as Jewish Disabilities Awareness and Inclusion Month. The initiative was started to bring awareness and support to all Jews, regardless of their abilities or differences. JDAIM was launched 1 year after we at Congregation Beth Israel began offering monthly Shabbat services in partnership with Gesher Disability Resources, formerly known as the Council for Jews with Special Needs. Each month, we welcome a growing number of participants to the most joyful, no-shush service you will ever attend. We celebrated our first decade this is product placement here, by publishing a Siddur, which CCAR Press, which also publishes Mishkan Tefillah, which you are holding in your laps, and this is also available for congregations throughout North America. We are a very welcoming group, And if you have never attended, I encourage and invite each and every one of you to join us at noon on February 23rd in the Roth Family Chapel. As they do almost every Friday night, Stephen and his family join us via live stream to participate in Shabbat services. They are very much with us and a part of our community, even if you can't see them. In fact, if you'll indulge me for just a moment, I'd like to wish Stephen a Shabbat Shalom and remind him of our handshake, which started with a pinky promise and ended with a nod to Stephen sharing his own brand of humor and welcoming me into his world. So Stephen, this is for you. Pinky promise, E.T., fist pump, calamari. Every person brings their own gifts. It does not matter if they can see or hear or think or walk or understand like you and I. At our core, we all just want to and deserve to be accepted and loved and recognized for our own uniqueness. Those with disabilities are no different. They are so much more than their syndromes and their differences and their labels. They are not strangers, but rather they are those who you have not yet gotten to know and appreciate. When you extend yourself in love and acceptance, you might see former strangers in our midst from whom you will learn. And the moment when the ger becomes family, you may experience a moment of holiness. You may see rainbows that you had not noticed before. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Stacy. And hi, Stephen. I can't wait to meet you. I would like to recognize because of Jewish Disability Awareness and Inclusion Month, I want to recognize Amy Hummel, who is here, the Executive Director of Gesher Disability Resources. Welcome, Amy. We're so glad you are here to join us tonight. And because tonight is also Parshat Mishpatim, which I mentioned earlier, we also have had some representation from Jewish Free Loan. Ellen Sachs, the Associate Executive Director of Jewish Free Loan, was here. Ellen, if you're on the live stream, we were really, thank you for sharing your words with us in the lobby earlier, and I would like to invite Laura Drockler from our Board of Directors and also from the Board of Jewish Free Loan to share some announcements with us tonight.
Thank you. We have a special Torah study with Rabbi Byrne for Jewish Disabilities Awareness Inclusion Month. They're going to be tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. in the Bendelin Conference Room. Rabbi Norman Cohen's class on the Book of Ruth continues Wednesday, February 6th at 7 p.m. And do not worry if you didn't go to the first one. If you did, I'm hearing through the grapevine, it was amazing. And if you did not go, you should go. You will not miss out if you come to the second one. Next week, despite what it says in your flyer thing, there's not services here on Friday night. Why? Because it's Shabbat across CBI. And yay! And all of you here, I recognize many of your faces from the registration. Thank you for registering. We are going to be opening our homes of our congregants, and you can join our congregant for Shabbat dinner on Friday night. Saturday, obviously, services start up again. Purim is coming. Yay! Let's make a spiel. Erev Purim is Wednesday, March 20th at 5:30 p.m. We are going to be giving more information February and March, so stay tuned. Registration for our CBI's family retreat up at Camp Stein. Big Jewish fun, right? In the Pines, check your email for more. And lastly, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Jewish Free Loan. I am on the board for Jewish Free Loan as well. This weekend is Shabbat Mishpatim, which is basically the biblical directive of Jewish Free Loan. Jewish Free Loan provides interest-free loans to our Arizona Jewish community here for just basically almost anything. It is an interest-free opportunity for anybody Jewish here in our community. It's fulfilling an ancient directive
with a very modern impact, and it's a pretty spectacular group. So thank you all. Shabbat Shalom, and we'll see you throughout the weekend.
We turn to our concluding prayers. Let's stand together for Aleinu, page 586.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגואלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Let's turn together to page 598 as we turn to thoughts of Kaddish. It is with deepest sympathies that we note the passing of the following people who were recently laid to their eternal rest. Audrey Behrens, mother of Lisa Behrens Weiss. We remember those of our congregational family whose yahrzeits occur this week. May their souls be bound up in the bond of eternal life. We remember Yetta Abramowitz, Lucille Axelrod, Janae Bandler, Betty Barron, Dr. Maurice Berger, Aaron Bitt, Evelyn Blevis, Hyman Bushnick, Ronald Diamond, Shirley Dolgan, Harriet L. Epstein, Rose Gerber Goldbaum, Nathan Goldman, Horace Goldsmith, Hyman Goldstein, Albert Horwich, Elena P. Kellner, Gay Kruglich, Betty Mae Liebson, Kathy Sue Lukowitz, Alex Lipschultz, Barry M. Marcus, Helen Markovitz, Betty Mesa, Melvin Metz, Shirley Metz, Alan J. Morrow, Jesse Morton, Esther Newman, Rabbi Albert Plotkin, Hyman Pomerantz, Bertha Patashk, Lena Rabinowitz, Esther Reamer, Helga Roeder, Newton, Rosenzweig, J. A. Seidler, Zipporah Seltzer, Seymour Sendro, Evelyn Shaben, Jack Stein, Mary Wexman, and Abraham Wise. If there's someone else you are remembering tonight whose name I did not read, or if I have mispronounced the name of your loved one, I invite you to share their name at this time. We also remember the 6 million who perished in the Shoah, including the 1.5 million children who have no one to say Kaddish for them. As always, we recall with admiration the soldiers and civilians of the State of Israel who have given their lives for our Jewish homeland. Zecher Tzadik Livracha, may all of their lives be for a blessing. We read together page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon u'vyomechon u'chayei l'chol Beit Yisrael, b'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudusha b'richu, leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all those who are in mourning and comfort to all who are bereaved as we say together, amen. As we sing Oseh Shalom, right? That's what we're doing. Thank goodness, because that's what I said. As we sing Oseh Shalom, I'd like to invite Juliet to come on up, get ready to lead Kiddush, and anyone else under the age of Bar Bat Mitzvah, come on up for a little bit of sweetness and sustenance as we begin our Shabbat together.
Oseh Shalom b'mromav, Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. Oseh Shalom b'mromav, Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. Oseh Shalom b'mromav, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Oseh Shalom b'mromav, Shalom Aleinu. Oseh Shalom b'mromav, Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. Oseh Shalom b'mromav, Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael.
This is the microphone right here, so you're going to go here into the microphone. There you go. Stand
Baruch atah Adonai,
Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'hatzavanu. V'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tehillah lemikra'ei kodesh, zecher letziat mitzrayim.
Ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'alim, ve'shabbat kodeshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinhatanu.
Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim. We join together in the Motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We'll join together
Mazel tov to the Pasternak and Boroff. I'm blanking on Juliet's last name. Morales, Boroff and Morales family. And Shabbat Shalom to everyone.
Shalom.